The now famous standing ovation accorded to the president was a sign that things had changed. It was meant to be a blow to impunity, a signal that anyone who had been accused of corruption would not be spared. 5 cabinet secretaries and several principal secretaries were suspended as a result. The 5 were Davis Chirchir, who then was the cabinet secretary for energy and petroleum, Charity Ngilu of lands, Felix Kosgei of agriculture, Michael Kamau of transport and Kazungu Kambi of labor. Of the 5, only Charity Ngilu and Michael Kamau have been taken to court, and their cases have not been concluded since they stepped down. All the 5 cabinet positions, however, have since been filled, leaving them out in the cold and in limbo.
I have removed everybody. Everybody who has ever been named or touched upon, starting on by Wakina Wako and all these fellows here. We have a case against so-and-so. I've done my part. At great expense, political also.
The other senior government officials suspended were Francis Kimemia, Secretary to the Cabinet, Mutiai Ringo, who was then the Principal Secretary for Defense, Nduva Muli, who was the Principal Secretary for Transport, Patrick Omutia, who was the Mining Principal Secretary, and James Teko, who was the Principal Secretary in the Department of Water. Even with them, there has been virtually no movement in the courts. Worse still, the president's efforts at the time were discredited by those who claimed that not all corruption suspects had been targeted. They wondered why then Devolution Cabinet Secretary Anne Waiguru had not been suspended, yet there were allegations of corruption at the National Youth Service, which was part of her docket. Eventually, she resigned in November the same year and was replaced a day later. Her name, however, keeps coming up at the hearings being conducted by the Parliamentary Accounts Committee, alongside that of the former Deputy Director at NYS, Adan Harake. Yet in the dock, the senior government officials who have been charged are the former Director Nelson Githinji and the former Planning Principal Secretary Peter Mangiti.
One of the persons who had recommended to be charged, the advice from DPP was that we treat him as a witness. That was the then AIE holder.
Mr. Harake?
Yes.
While some high-ranking public officials have lost their jobs because of allegations of corruption, they have remained just that, allegations, and the justice system has been blamed for not taking the matters expeditiously to a logical conclusion. And in some instances where they have done so, it has not been to the satisfaction of a section of the public. Andrew Ochieng, NTV.